Hi, welcome back to my live. I'm Mika Alban Osher Al coming to you live from Cebu, Philippines, which otherwise known as Mod Bar for us who is in the know. Mod Bar is the Gabari word for the wilderness by which we are together, the remnant chosen people of of our Allah aim of God. Today's title is we are Ya'osharal, the covenant people. We are Ya'osharal, the covenant people. For you who are those who are joining us today, I want to say thank you. And if you're new to our channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit that subscribe button. You know, we're going exclusively live right now on Facebook and YouTube. My YouTube channel is Now Living in the Philippines. Now Living in the Philippines. We normally go live on about four networks, but today we are only exclusive on two channels or two streaming platforms, which is Now Living in the Philippines and Facebook, my Facebook account at Make Albania Osher Al. Why exclusively? Because I'm tired. I'm seriously tired. Come March 13, I say March 15. I don't think I'm going to be doing any more lives after that. And why? Because March 13, 14, 15, somewhere between there, are in the spring. We're expecting a blood moon sign from our Creator. That blood moon sign from our Creator will tell a lot about who we are. You know, we're here speaking on prophecies and we're talking about what the Creator is about to do to this world. This world will never be the same. And so I felt compelled to make this video, just kind of like highlighting who we are, why we believe what we believe, and to give you, just to give you a little insight. My goal is always to reach OMPP, only Middle Passage people. That means if you can trace your lineage through the transatlantic slave trade, I'm really speaking to you and my heart is reaching out to you. I'm really going for you. According to Isaiah, Yeshayahu, aka Isaiah 56, we know that there's a way that others can get in if you are not a covenant people. Now, when I say covenant, you have to understand the word covenant. It means that you are chosen bloodline, promise descendant of Abraham, promise descendant of Abraham to carry a certain covenant between the Creator and us as a people. Now, if you read the Bible carefully, you would see that Abraham had many many nations, or many people can trace their lineage through to Abraham. They can trace their lineage to Abraham. So I'm not concerned too much about those who can trace their lineage through Abram. I am concerned mostly about those who have the covenant seed through Abram. All right. So just if you've been reading the Bible, you will understand this. The Creator, Yah, whose name is Yah, has made a covenant with Abram that he would have a child, and that child descendants after him will occupy the promised land, etc., etc. And if you notice that Abram and his wife, being so old in age, they decided that, they laughed. I mean, Abram actually laughed when the Creator promised him a son. He actually laughed because he was about 99 years old and his wife was about 90. So, how can a 99-year-old man have a son? How can a 90-year-old woman carry a child? So, they went ahead and did their own thing. They come up with the surrogate mother thing and, have the baby, and then Ishmael was born. Though Ishmael is our Yaoshmael, though he is a descendant of Abram, he does not carry the promise. He's not the promised seed of the covenant. This is important, ladies and gentlemen. This is important. Isaac is. Isaac is the promised covenant seed. Now, Isaac had two sons, right? Isaac had two sons, twin boys, and from the womb, when they realized that something's going on in the womb, because one was to serve the other. The older was to serve the younger. The oldest child, the one who came out first, Esau, is not the covenant child. Though he can trace his lineage through Abram, he have the DNA through Abram. He's not the covenant child. The actual covenant child is Jacob, Yaakov. He is the covenant child. Through Yaakov, aka Jacob, have the sons of Jacob, which were later on changed to Yahusha. Now, I won't say aka Israel, because if I say aka Israel, your mind will not be on someone who looks like me. Your mind will be on those who are perpetrating the covenant people, who they are not. Now, I spend many, many times here on my life debunking that they could never be the covenant child. And one thing I share, two things I shared, that actually three things I could share that will dispel the fact that they are assuming to be the covenant child, right? They're assuming. They're an imposter. One, they don't have a 400-year history of enslavement. They do not have a 400-year history of enslavement. These so-called Jews, right? Two, they have not been scattered all abroad on ships. They have not been scattered throughout the Aegean, throughout the world on ships. They don't have that history. And three, you ask yourself the question, can these recessive skinned people survive in the desert, the desert of Egypt, under a taskmaster's whip, serving 200 plus years as chattel slaves? You think they could survive in the sun for that long? Come on, you take any recessive skinned people right now today, put them in the sun for 15 minutes, a blazing hot sun, especially sun like the desert that reached some 120 degrees Fahrenheit, right? You put them in the desert for 15 minutes and see what's going to happen to their skin alone. So you have to ask them question, could they survive? I mean, if you look at the hieroglyphs, the evidence, you ever wonder why all the Egyptians statues have their nose missing? Because the true Egyptians are black people. The hieroglyphs and the drawing on the walls of Egypt shows that they're black people. They were black people running Egypt. The true Egyptians are black. The true Yahusha, the true people of the promised covenant, are black people. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I've debunked this many, many times, right? Science. Some of you believe in science. You don't believe in the word of God. You believe in science. So I'm going to talk to you about science. Science tells us, science teaches us, science proven, it has been proven over and over using all types of method, that the white skin is recessive. The blue eyes is recessive. The dark skin, melanin, or carbonated skin are dominant, is dominant. You cannot get the dominant from the recessive. In other words, what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, no white people come together can create a black man. Now we know from scripture that out of one man, the creator created all man, unless you don't believe in scripture, right? From one man, he created all man. From one man, he created the woman. The woman comes out of the man. And then the man together with the woman created other human beings. Now, if you cannot get the dominant, which is the black man, from the recessive, which is the white man, how, ladies and gentlemen, could the white man be first? How can he be the first man on the planet? You get where I'm coming from? So the black man has to be the first man. As a matter of fact, the word Adam means black or dark earth. People understand our first. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that because it's not why I'm here to talk to you about. I want to just talk to you about who we are as a people. We are Yahushua. We are Yahushua, the covenant promise people of the Creator. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a prophet, a living prophet among us. Now, this living prophet, his name is the ravenous bird. Many titles. Sadiq, Karash, Nabe, Mabane. This man from the north, written about, prophesy about before hundreds of years, thousands of years, has come to us, a black man in the flesh, is our prophet who who the Creator has ordained for such a time like this. And yes, he have restored the name Yahweh back to the true original people of God. The Creator we worship, the Creator we worship is Yahweh. We don't worship any other creator. We don't worship or call on any other name. The only name we worship and called on and revered is the name Yahweh. Now take that however you want. Believe whatever you want. I'm telling you who we are and who we called on. Whatever you called on and whoever you believe in, that's on you. Not knocking you, not telling you should not telling you anything other than today. My goal is to let you know who we are. We are Yahushua, the true covenant seed, the true covenant promised people, the covenant people of the Creator, the bloodline covenant people. Now, if you can trace your lineage through the transatlantic slave trade, you are the covenant people of the Creator. If you pack up everything you have, sold everything you have, say goodbye to your families and friends, and move to the Philippines, to Cebu, Philippines, then you are the remnant people. Not all of Yahushua is going to be saved. Why? Because not all of Yahushua, not all of you who can trace your lineage through the transatlantic slave trade will believe this message. You will hear the name Yahweh. You're hearing it now, and you've done nothing. You have done nothing. You believe, you claim to believe, but you have not acted. Only the obedient will be saved. And that's why we're here gathered in the Philippines, because out of Cebu, Philippines is where the name Yahweh has sprung up. No place on planet Earth, nowhere else on planet Earth was the name Yahweh brought forth by a ravenous bird. And I'm not here to reiterate the message. You see, the reason why you probably have not heard of it is because the message is not for you. If you read the transliterated version of this Bible, the King Queen James virus, you can learn some things. You will see that the Creator do not speak to the world. You will see that the Creator does not speak to the nations of this world. He spoke directly through his prophets to his chosen remnant people. This is why you will hear it says, speak to the children of Yahushua and tell them this. Anytime the Creator speaks to the world directly, it's through judgment. Anytime the Creator speaks to a nation, is through judgment. It means he's going to destroy it and going to do something. There's one account that I've learned here where he spoke to a nation, and the king repented, and the nation got spared for 40 years, one generation. But after that generation died out, what happened? The new generation came, went back to their old ways, and later on, the Creator destroyed that place. That place is called Nineveh today. So now we're reading a transliterated version of the Bible. And now, thanks to a ravenous bird, we can read the true version, the truth about what was said, how it was said in the language spoken of and spoken through and to our leaders. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the language, the biblical language of Gabare. And so now we cut out the middleman. No more middleman. No more interpretations. No more transliteration. No, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to read it and is reading it and are reading it through the spoken word of the Creator, written with its own fingers. It's amazing to have a prophet living amongst you. And so we learn the atat, the signs. We have 22 of them. And these are the signs. And I'm learning them. And we're learning them. Abba, Gada, Hawaza, Kata, Yaka, Lamana, Saga, Patsa, Karashata, Karashata, Karashata. Abba, Gada, Hawaza, Kata, Yaka, Lamana, Saga, Patsa, Karashata. See, I'm finally learning our language, the language that was stolen from us, taken from us. Why? Because of disobedience. Our ancestors disobeyed. They broke in the Sabbath. They broke in the everlasting covenant. They turned their backs on the Creator and start worshiping idols. And because of that, we were sent into slavery for over 400 years. But those who hear or heard the name Yahweh has risen to the challenge, has brought themselves to Cebu, Philippines, where the prophet dwells, to learn from his leadership and to go back to the Creator in obedience. And now we're seeing the visions, we're seeing the prophecy being fulfilled right before our very eyes. That's why we know come March 13, 14, 15, somewhere around there, because it says spring. And you know, our new year doesn't start in January like the pagans do. Our new year starts in spring. So right now, we would still be in 2024. While you are in 2025, 3 months, we're still in 2024. Because our year starts in spring. Wherefore the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse will be in the same year. This is Yahweh. If you notice, the stars are aligned. You don't understand what's about to take place. What about to take place is the fulfillment of Isaiah 24. People don't understand it. So now Now, you're going to know the name Yahweh. You're going to know his prophet. You're going to know his prophet, the ravenous bird, the Karash. You're going to know his people who are down here in the Philippines raging war against Babal. War. Yes, you heard me right. War. Not with guns or might. He said it. Not by might nor by power. We're not going to mass up no military equipment and planes and bombs and guns. It's not by might nor by power, but by my roke, saith Yahweh. How is he going to defeat his enemies? By his roke, his spirit. Roke, our spirit, means wind, breath. You know, when he created the man, what did he do? He put the roke in him. He blows the breath of life in that man. And the man become a living being. Yes? It's that very roke that's in us. He's going to use to destroy the enemies because he's making us partake of the vengeance that he's going to cause. So how we do it, how we're doing it, through songs. Through songs. Get this, ladies and gentlemen. Get this. What is in my lungs? What am I speaking? I'm speaking words. How do you formulate words? It comes through the breath, up to the pipe, out through your mouth. It is the roke. It is by song. And we've been singing this song. We are singing this song. So don't think we are terrorists. We're not terrorists. We're the terror striking ones. Gosh dang. It's true words. Not a carababal, a baseball, kath mordak, a besha gathabeha, katho galaleha, kegalaga leha goe matzapon, ho yashake atarat halashama, wala yae yasho baha ma adam wagad bama, nado alako, keana anake ma air, wa malagal babal, call goe galale maharat sapon, wa garakalaha, sham talakan, katseo kakabor mashkel, la yasho rekam. Wahesha Kashade La Shalal, Ka Shalaleo La Shabayo, Garako Galbabal, so bait, call the Rakeka shot, Yado Aleha, Al Takamalo Al Kat, Kea, Ke La Yao Kata, Hareayo Galea Sabate, Natada Yada, Napalo or Oshetheha, Naroso Komathea, Ke Nakamit Yaohea, Ha Nakamabaha, Ashar Gashatha, Gasholaha, Karzo Sarai Mabal, Wanapash Magal Bagate Katsir Mapane Karab Hayona H Al Gamo Yapano Wa H La Aratso Kal Haaratz Ma'arim Gala Galeha Wa Al Yoshabit Pakot. Now you don't understand what I'm saying. You don't understand what I'm saying. I'm speaking my Asian tongue. I'm speaking a language you don't understand. And this is a song we're singing over here. Watching the Creator doing what he said, all of this that we're doing, man, you think I wanted to learn no other language? All of this that's happening is what was foretold long before it happened. That is why you got to go watch The Ravenous Bird on YouTube. There's still a couple of days left. We're coming up on March. What is today? Today's March 7th. And if we look at the blood moon at the middle of the full moon or the blood moon lasts 3 days. So you're talking about if it comes on the 13th, it will last to the 15th. And usually they recorded the date at the 14th, which is the middle date in between. So you got a couple more days. Because the scripture said immediately after. You got to find that in the book of Joel. All the prophets are talking about this. The Creator is about to do some things immediately after the Exodus. I know you guys think we're crazy, but you know what? Guess what? They thought Noah was crazy too. He must have been crazy. Look at him building a boat on dry land. You know, I work a shipyard for 14 years, and one thing I can tell you for certain, you do not build a boat on dry land because you need the water to transfer the boat to it. You have to transfer the boat to the water. So if you're building the boat on dry land, I will tell you right now, it's going to be a long stretch to get that boat into the water. You got to build the boat near the water, and you got to have a way for when you build the boat to get it into the water. And then you get it into the water, make sure it doesn't sink, and then you start building the boat on the water. It's just how it's done. But here's this crazy madman building a boat in dry land, and he's preaching through his obedience that the Creator is going to destroy the world. I don't understand that. We have gotten so far away from the Creator that we don't know His truth. We're looking at this world and think this world is going to continue the way it's going to continue forever. The Creator is not going to put up with transgression, ladies and gentlemen. He's not going to put up with it. He set the setup. He's not going to put up with that. It's not the first time He destroyed this world. It's not the first time He destroys cities. Some He rained fire from heaven. Some He destroyed with weather and earthquake. Some He destroys with other nations. Some He destroyed through our ancestors. Where are the Amalekites today? Where are the Amorites today? The Perizzites, the Jebusites, where are they today? They are extinct, ladies and gentlemen. But now, time has run its course. You think the Creator changed because He sent this God-man down here to die for your sins, and you don't realize that that whole message is deception in itself. Because for any man to die for your sin goes against the very character of the Torah and Theoda. He goes against the very character of the Creator. No man can die for your sins. How is sins forgiven? You know something I was looking at the other day, and I'm like, how could I miss this? They say it's the Lamb that takes away the sins of the world. Did they not say that? It is the Lamb that takes away the sins of the world. But do you really look at the sanctuary message? It's not the Lamb that takes away the sins of the world. It is the goat. I know, because you're trained to look at the devil as the goat. If you look, there was 2 goats at the end, right? When the Day of Atonement, right, happens, right? One lamb that was sacrificed, not lamb, one goat that was sacrificed, and the second goat was where all the sin was transferred to that goat, and that goat went out into into the desert. So think about it. Just something that was playing in my mind. I haven't started all through yet, but it's something that was played on my mind. So you have this so-called God man. I dare not mention his name, right? I've mentioned it my whole life, believed in it my whole life, thought it was the real deal my whole life till I realized that I was duped. I was deceived. So I dare not mention that name. It's not going to, no. There's only one name that's above all name, and that name is Yahweh. And that is the name I mentioned. So if you want to hold on to the name you have, go for it. You're going to see, because His vengeance is here. The year of His vengeance is here. Come spring of this year, you're going to see something. Now, Yeshaya or Isaiah 24, and I shouldn't be showing you this because the ravenous bird has made it abundantly clear on his videos. If you're watching the videos, if you won't listen to the prophet, you won't listen to me, a nobody who barely know enough. You're not going to listen to the prophet. You're not listening to Yahweh. You're not listening to his prophet. You're going to listen to me. Behold, Yahweh, who? Yahweh, maketh the earth empty and maketh it waste. Turn it upside down and scatter abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be as with people, so with priests, as with servants, so with master, as with master, maid, so with mistress, as with buyer, so with seller, as with lender, so with borrower, as with taker of usurer, so with giver of usurer. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled. For Yahweh has spoken this word. Hold on. Who spoke the words? When Yahweh told Noah that he's going to destroy the earth, you think Noah believed him? Yes, he did. He believed the ark according to the specification of the word of Yahweh. He followed Yahweh's instructions to the letter. And when the time come, did a flood come and destroy the earth? You know how many of you on this planet right now don't even believe that there was a flood, even though they try to cover it up? You go to the Grand Canyon, you look all over the world, you see the same markings on the rocks, the same markings. When this flood recedes, it leaves a mark every time. And they try to cover it up. That's why they don't want you going to the Grand Canyon. They don't want you seeing these kind of things. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You don't believe in the flood. You don't believe in a God who can actually destroy everyone. And you had including babies. Yeah. Which kind of God who's supposed to love the world? Who tells you that God loves the world? You see, that's the problem. That's the problem. You're reading the fake book, and you're hearing, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Isn't that what you said? That whosoever believe in the son should perish but have everlasting life. For God did not send his son into the world to condemn the world, but through him the world might be saved. That's what you were told. Now you have to ask yourself the question: show me anywhere in Thora and Thyoda where it tells us that God loved this world. Because if you love a world, why would you destroy it? Listen to me. I'm reading it right here. Behold, Yahweh maketh the earth empty and maketh it waste and turn it upside down and scatter abroad the inhabitants thereof. That's what I'm reading. That's why the prophet is telling me. So if he loved the world, why is he going to destroy it? If he loved the world, why did he destroy it in the first place in the flood? And most of you don't believe this. But every day you see a rainbow. Every month, every time the rain comes about, you might be lucky enough to see a rainbow. And I know at some point in your lifetime, you saw a rainbow. You've seen a rainbow. You've seen a rainbow. You know what that rainbow is? I know the LGBTQ community takes the rainbow and make it their symbol, changing the image of the creator from holy to unholy. But watch this now. Watch this. Watch this. The rainbow is a sign. It's a sign. Guess what else it is? It is a mark. Guess what else it is? It's a seal. Guess what else it is? A token. That when the Creator sees it, he will remember his covenant not to destroy the earth with using a flood again. He's not going to use a flood. There won't be a second flood that's going to destroy the entire earth. It's a covenant, an everlasting covenant. If you have seen a rainbow, it means the Creator made a covenant with you because you're a living creature, aren't you? You're a living creature. You have the breath of life in you. He made a covenant that he will never destroy the entire planet using a flood. But here he says he's going to destroy the earth. He's going to make it waste. So how is he going to do it? It's written in the scriptures through his roke, through his people in the wilderness singing the songs of destruction. That's how he's going to do it. You ever wonder why there's so many different weather conditions and things are happening? Fires burning up the most expensive places in California, and earthquake here, and place where flooding and froze over. You ever seen that like that in your entire life? Where the place flood up, the water come up all the way almost to the top of the car. That's frozen solid. Tornadoes coming out of everywhere, hurricane by hurricane, recorded hurricane in Florida. That's the biggest they've ever recorded. You ever wonder why these things are happening and so frequently? Snows that is snowing in places it never snowed. We over here singing these songs, but this is just the beginning of things to come. You're going to start seeing earthquake like you've never seen it. Millions and upon millions of people are going to die. Here, the Creator tells us here in Isaiah 24, he says, as it shall be with the people, so with the priests, with the servant, so with the master, with the maid, the mistress, the buyer, the seller, the lender, the borrower, the taker of usury, the giver of usury. The land shall be utterly empty and utterly spoiled, for Yahweh have spoken these words. In other words, what he's saying, no one will be exempt from these destruction that is coming upon the world, except for those who obeyed and come to Cebu, Philippines. If you obey and get out now before it's too late, because come after March, all hell is going to break loose, my friend. After this month is up, we have to wait. Now, we don't know the exact date. No, we're not telling you. Listen to me and hear me. This is not a doomsday. This is not the end of the world. This is not the end of the world. It's the end of life as you know it. The Creator is resetting things. He's going to have his remnant over here. We're going to get larger and larger and become a more powerful nation. A nation unto him who worship him his way by his rules and worship him alone as creator, as God, who call upon the only true name, which is Yahweh. We're a set apart people, a nation unto him, a promise covenant seed is who we are. And anyone, whether you are of the bloodline or not, anyone who call on the name Yahweh and obey his word will be a peculiar treasure unto him. And nothing you say, whether you know his name or not, nothing you say will make a difference in your life unless you leave the land of your oppressors and come to Cebu, Philippines. Nothing you say will matter. Yeah, you can try calling on his name in the land of your oppressed. It's not gonna work. You must leave. You must come to the wilderness, because only there will you hear his voice. Only then will you be spared from his coming wrath. He's going to turn this world upside down. He's going to reset the world. What's going to happen when he destroys the most powerful city in the world? What's going to happen? This is not the first time the Creator destroyed a city. This is not new news. This is old news. What happened when he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah? What did happen? There were some righteous people living in there. What they had to do, they had to come out. When he destroyed Egypt, where was our people living? They were not living in the cities. They were living in Goshen, ladies and gentlemen. They were secure. But you think if they were living in the cities, you think they would be spared? They were living in Goshen. Lot and his family had to leave the city. They didn't want to leave. The angel literally had to whisk them out. Listen, time run out for you. The angel literally said to Lot, we can do nothing. We can do nothing until you leave. The flood did not come, ladies and gentlemen, until Noah and his family enters the ark. Now, here's the difference between you and our ancestors. When Sodom and Gomorrah, the angel has to whisk them out. In Egypt, Yahweh killed all the firstborn of Egypt by placing the blood over their door as a sign, as a mark. And then Yahweh led them out of Egypt. Here's the difference. No one is going to lead you out. The prophets told us, you have to come out of her. The prophets told us. We're going to go back to Yeshaya 24, Isaiah 24. But let's go to Revelation 18. Let's see what Yahweh said to you. Because you have not moved. You don't believe. Let's see what he says to you here. Let's go to Revelation 18. Let's go in verse 4. Actually, let's just read in verse 1. Revelation 18 and 1. And after these things, I saw another angel and coming down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. An angel, if you don't know it, is a messenger. And not always necessarily an angel coming down. An angel is also a messenger, because the word angel means messenger. But this messenger is coming down from heaven. That means whatever is being told is coming straight from the throne. Verse 2, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, where's this voice going towards? Is it going towards all of the earth? Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the inhabitants of devils, and the hold of every foul bird, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all, listen now. So Babylon is a specific place that made, verse 3, all the nation drink or drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. In other words, this city, Babylon, causes all the nation not only to turn away from the Creator, but to drink the lies, to drink the false information, to worship idols, and to worship false God. This city, this nation, caused all the other nations to be drunk with the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth, the presidents of the earth, the kings of the earth commit fornication with her. And the merchants, so all the businesses, the Fortune 500 companies of the earth, are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. But watch this now. Verse 4. Here's where it gets interesting, ladies and gentlemen. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, hold on now. I heard another voice from heaven saying, watch this. Now this voice from heaven is speaking specifically to a people. Which people? Watch this. Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plague. For her sin have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh has remembered her iniquities. I don't think you heard it. I don't think you heard it. So I'm going to tell you again. I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to lead you out of Egypt, out of Babylon. No, ladies and gentlemen, you have to come out on your own. The Creator will make the way for you. You just have to have faith. And you ain't got no money. Listen, man, all the gold and the silver is his. You think money is your problem? Money has never been your problem. You know what your problem is? Your lack of faith in his word. And if you want to piss this God off, be a rebellious person. Don't do what he says, or don't believe in his words. All through the scriptures, obey my voice. A matter of fact, this is how sin enters the world, because of disobedience to his voice. Have you eat off the tree I command you not to eat? Disobedience. You stay in Matzraim, if you stay in the land, if you're not in Cebu, Philippines, you're disobedient. You're disobedient. And you will be destroyed. What did he say here? I heard a voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues, for her sins has reached unto heaven, and Yahweh has remembered her iniquities. Listen to me. You have church pastors and church organization and religious people and religious influencers are telling you, leave the cities. That's what they're telling you. Leave the cities and go into the countryside. That's what they're telling you. Leave the cities. They're telling you to store up food for yourself. They're telling you to grow your own food, to live sustainable off the grid. They're making you think you're going to be safe. You're going to be safe if you just leave the cities and go out into the rural areas and live off the grid. Plant your own food and raise your own cattle and collect your own waters. They make you think you're going to be safe. You're gonna die. Because the command is not to leave the cities. The command is to leave the country. That is the command. If you're in the Caribbean islands, you're not gonna be safe. You have to be where he commands you to be. You can't go where you want. People are moving to Africa. You got countries now who is soliciting you to come over, soliciting black men. They want black men. Come on over. We'll pay for you to live. Come breed and build our numbers. And they're inveigling you. There are places today that will pay you to come live there. They'll pay you. There's countries today that will pay you to come and live there because the population is so weak. And it sounds good. But are you in his will? You know why he says many are called, but few are chosen? I wonder what's the difference between those who are called and those who are chosen. I watched a movie one time and I heard Gene Hackman says, Winners want the ball. And it's true. Winners want the ball. Winners want to take that last shot, live with the consequence. Because they know if they make it, they live with the consequence. If they make it, victorious. But if they don't, they live with the consequence. But only a winner will take that shot. Why is why is Yahweh calling you out of this country? Watch this. Verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh has remembered her iniquities, rewarding her even as she has rewarded you. What do you think Yahweh is about to do to these cities, to these countries? What sin is he talking about? Listen, he gave you the clue here. He says he's going to reward her as she reward you. Verse 6, reward her even as she reward you, and double unto her, double according to all her works, in the cup which she has filled to her double. Yahweh sees what he's done to you. Remember what he told Moshe before he sent him to Egypt? I have heard the cries of my people in Egypt. For 400 years he heard this cry. He said, and I have come to deliver them out of the hands of the taskmasters. You don't think America is your taskmaster? You don't think America and its allies is your taskmasters? You don't think they're exploiting you and still using you? You don't think they're still keeping you in bondage? Yahweh is coming to give them a double portion for what they have done to you. But if you stay there, you're going to get it as well, because you have become like them, disobedient. Come out of her. That is the message. Come out of her is the message. If you stay, you will die. If you stay, you will die. If you stay, you will die. Let me see if I can find some more. If you stay, you will die. Micah 2 and verse 10. Arise you and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. I told you nobody's coming to get you. You got to leave. Arise you and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. That's two testimonies right here. The prophet is telling you, get your behind out. Give you one more prophet. If you stay, you will die. It's my last appeal to you. If you stay, you will die. You remember I told you that there is no million-man march. There's no mass exodus. You remember I told you that many are called, but few are chosen. You remember I told you, why is many that is called, but only a few is accepted? Why? Jeremiah, Yeramyao 3 and verse 14. Turn, O backsliding children, saith Yahweh, for I am married unto you, and I will take you, watch this, and I will take you, watch this, and I will take you, one of a city and two of a family, and I will bring you to Zion, and I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you the knowledge and understanding. And it shall come to pass when you be multiply and increase in the land in those days, saith Yahweh, they shall say no more the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, neither shall it come to mind, neither shall they remember it, neither shall they visit it, neither shall they that be done any more. At that time they shall call Jerusalem the throne of Yahweh, and all the nations shall gather unto it to the name of Yahweh, to Jerusalem. Neither shall they walk any more after the imagination of their evil hearts. The only reason why only a few are chosen is because only a few will act. And I will take you, one from a city and two from a family, and I will bring you to stay on. The wilderness, right here in Cebu, Philippines. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. And the few short days, it's crazy. When you hear people prophesy, they always prophesy for years or 2 years or 3 years. We're telling you, next 7 days or so, you're gonna see a blood moon in the sky. When you see the blood moon in the sky, you'll know that Maker all wasn't lying. You'll know that the ravenous bird is who he said he is. You'll know that Yahweh's word is true. But then, will it be too late for you? Will it be too late for you? Someone told me lightning was going to strike in the house I am. I don't want to be nowhere near the house. As a matter of fact, I might not even go back to the house, just in case they were off for a day or two. All right, I'm going to finish here because I didn't come on here to convince you. I really come on here to tell you who we are. We are a remnant people, ladies and gentlemen. We are the people, the only people on earth that are calling on the name Yahweh. We are the only people on earth that are calling on the name Yahweh. We're the only people on earth who is reestablishing the covenant promise and covenant made with the Father, the Creator of the heavens and the earth. We're the only people on earth that is keeping the true Shabbat day or Shabbat days. Some we cannot keep to its entirety because we don't have the tabernacle yet. Tabernacle will be built on Hartheon, and you will see it. But we're the only people on earth right now that is making a fire of sacrifice altar of grain offering to Yahweh. We're doing that. We're the only people on earth that is keeping his true 7-day Shabbat, not from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, but from Saturday morning to Sunday morning. It's from sunrise to sunrise, not sundown to sundown. We're the only people on this planet that's doing that. Why? Because we're the only covenant seed people on this planet that has a ravenous bird. The man that was called by Yahweh to execute his counsels. The man who has restored to us his people, the prophet from among the people. from the people, by the people, and for the people, that is calling on the name Yahweh, that is reading the original language spoken of and written by the hands of the Creator. When he wrote, this is what he wrote. This is how it looks. This is it. It's not like what you see. It's not like what you see when you see Canaanite Hebrew scripts, Paleo Hebrew, and all these different Hebrew scripts. This is the real deal. This is how our Father wrote. That's his name right there. Look at that. I can see it. Look at that. I can see it right there. That's Yahweh. I see that name anywhere. I know that name in his language right there. Boom, 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 bang. That's how we wrote to our forefathers. Passed down from generation to generation, from the time of Babel, the Tower of Babel, when others left speaking other languages. Yahweh preserved his language from generation, passed down to Abram, which passed down to Masha, which after the scattering of the people, we've lost his language, lost his name, lost our name, lost who we are, identity, everything. And we've been worshiping false idol ever since. The God of wood and the God of stone, representing Christianity and Islam. But it has been restored back to us, the truth of who we are. And you're going to see it. And when you see it, let's hopefully you're living in Cebu, Philippines. Let's hopefully when you see it, you will come join us. Because you will be worshiping the only true God. You'll be worshiping the only true God. You will see it. When you see this destruction, what you've been seeing now is nothing. How many deaths? In all the storms and all the things that you've seen, how many deaths you see? Not many. Few people die here, few people die here. But watch what about to happen. Millions will die. And there will be wars in these countries. All right, I finished there. I finished Isaiah. I'll finish here. Here is why. Here is why. Here's why this is happening. Verse 5 of Yeshayahu, aka Isaiah, says, the earth also is defiled. The earth is defiled under its people, the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws of Yahweh. They change the ordinance of Yahweh. They broken the everlasting covenant of Yahweh. And for this reason, the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore, the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and a few man left. I don't know where you want to position yourself. And at this point, I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. I really don't care. I've positioned myself and my household here. My children, they're still in America. My mother, who was coming, get cold feet and decide not to come. My mother-in-law, my son-in-laws, my grandchildren, who they have no choice in the matter. They're too young to make their own choices. So my grandchildren will perish because of their foolish parents. But I know this is hard to swallow. I know this is not easy. I know this is scary. I know it. When I was coming here, I had questions. I had questions, man. I was doing my research. I was in it, man. I was doing my research. Who are these people? Are they a cult? Are they a cult? So I started to study cult, and I learned a lot about cult. I learned and study, but I went into intensive study on cult and cult behavior because I wanted to see if these people were a cult. Where am I taking my family to? I've seen a lot of people isolate people into different countries and isolate people in rural areas in their own countries, and they become gods over the people and so on and so forth, and they own everything, having multiple and quadruple children and so on and so forth for and wives and things. So I want to know, who are these people? So I did an intense study, and it's crazy because I wanted to come down here and document what was going on here before I bring my family. Because that was my heart. I'm like, I'm not bringing my family down here, among some people I don't know who calling on this name Yah-O. Let me go see it for myself. But the thing about it, what got me is like Yah-O spoke to me. Listen, first and foremost, he spoke to me through the name. How do I know this name, Yah-O? How did I know a ravenous bird? I didn't know nothing about no ravenous bird. I didn't know nothing about Yah-O Shirala, what's going on here in the Philippines. I didn't know nothing about that. So what started for me? The letter J, the freaking letter J. But if you really want to go back, the Shabbat started way back then. That led me to different denominations, different churches. But then the letter J came into my life at an intricate part of my life when my life was transitioning to a better financial me. I was getting ready to make millions. And then I heard a program on YouTube with a man talking about the letter J. And the name I refused to call was the name in which I worship and bow down my whole life. And the man spoke of the letter J, and he said there was no letter J until the year 1524. When he said that, there was no letter J before the year 1524. When he said that, that alarms me, ladies and gentlemen. It alarms me because I read in this Queen James virus that there is no name given by which we must be saved, and that name I refuse to call right now. That's the name my ancestors, my grandmother, her grandmother before her father. That's the name we all bowed unto. We had a picture of him in our house and in the church, even in some Bibles that we had, pictures of this God man. And then, but common sense, you see, when common sense kicked in, and I know common sense is a superpower for most people. When common sense kicked in, I said, that could be true. How can that be true? How can there not be the letter J before the year 1524? That doesn't make sense. Because I know that this God man, so-called God man, was born in the 1st century, or 3rd century, or somewhere around there. So how could his name that's supposed to be given to him at birth or given to him before he was born? Because the angel brought the name, right? How could the spelling of his name only arrive at the year 1524, sometimes after that? So I started to look into that. And when I looked into that, it rocked my world, man. It rocked my world because I couldn't get past that. No pastors can explain it to me. And then I started to look at the name that he was called in the so-called Jewish community. Yeshua. So I'm saying, wait a minute. If that is the name given, Yeshua is supposed to be the name given. It's not supposed to be that J word. It's supposed to be that name given. And if so, why did we translate it or transliterate it or transobliterate it into the name we now call? Something wasn't right. Something wasn't adding up. And so I go on an extensive search on finding the name. And I come up with so many different names, y'all. So many different names. And they were just too much name. Which one do I choose? I know the Creator has a name. So I had to throw out the 2J word. I had to throw out the J word, and I had to throw out the other J word. because there was no letter J before the year 1524. So then I know these names are imposters, or imposters, or imposters, or whatever you want to call them. They're fake. So I throw them out. So now I'm looking Hebrew. But there's too many. Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. You know what I mean? At least the 4-letter consonant, which is Yod He Vav. So all of these things, I'm telling you, incentive search. Then, okay, so now I got all these names. What do I do with it? Do I just pick one that sound good? Do I pick one that feels good? Do I pick a name that stirs my emotion? You see, I learned a long time ago, ladies and gentlemen, not to trust my feelings. You know why? Because feelings change. Feelings is not constant. It cannot be sustained. You feel cold 1 minute, feel hot the next minute. Emotion is not constant. It goes rise 1 minute, falls next minute. So you cannot be influenced by your feelings and emotions. So I put that away. But now I have to make a decision. How do I make a decision on a name that I don't know? And then, ding, ding, ding. How did the name come about in the first place? How did we know the name of the creator in the first place? You see, ladies and gentlemen, Masha, when he was up on the mountain, asked the creator, what is your name? Then I read a scripture that says, you have not because you ask not, right? I read that if you ask, if you seek, you shall find. The Messiah teaches us that. So I'm like, all right. So I went through my window. I looked through my window. I looked up in the heavens. And I say these very few words that changed my life. I said, Father. See, I don't know his name now because there's too much to choose from. But I know he's my Father who art in heaven. That's how we were taught to pray. Our Father, right? So I said, Father, just what exactly is your name? What is your name? That's how I was introduced to the ravenous bird. Because I had my phone in my hand. Now you could say the phone hears me. I don't know. Maybe the phone algorithm finds me. I don't know. But when I ask the question, what is your name? This pops up right on my phone. I'm going to make you hear it. Watch this. This pops up right on my phone. Just like that. It just popped right up, just like this. Wait. Let me find the exact one. I want you to listen to this. Watch this. This just popped up on my phone. It just popped up, guys. Popped right up on my phone. Bloop, just like this. And I'm like looking at it. I said, okay, look at these guys. They look like black people right there, right? And then I hear this. Now I know that's a black voice. So you know I'm intrigued. Because when it comes to this kind of thing, I have to take this out because I'm going on YouTube and you know this is this song. But watch this. Now in Genesis 25, as with the name Masha, some of you are probably okay. And I heard this. Listen to what I heard. As with the name Masha, oh, come on. Some of you are probably wondering who is this Yao Tzachak and who is this Yao Gak? As with the name Masha, some of you are probably wondering who is this Yao Tzachak and who is this Yao Gaka and who is this Yao Sharab that I keep talking about. These are theophoric names. A theophoric name is simply a all right. So you can't hear what I heard because of the music, and the music is copyright. So if I play it on my YouTube channel, it my YouTube channel is monetized. So if I play the song here, it will stop. But basically, what he said while he was talking through the song, it was the true name of the creator. He said, should you call if you know, he was talking about our personal name and if we would like somebody else to call us by the wrong name, and what is the creator's true name? And that popped up, and of course, Brother Black speaking in a language that sound at the time to me was Arabic, sound like Arabic. I didn't know it was Kabare. I didn't know it was true Hebrews, and I was intrigued, and that changed my whole life. Go watch this video for yourself. True name of the creator by the Ravenous Bird. Changed my whole life, changed my whole perspective. And when I found the name Yahweh, of course I put it to the test because I want to make sure that I'm worshiping this true God. And I tell you, that name is authentic. I can tell you things I don't have time to tell you right now, but that name is powerful. Try it. And once I started to listen to him and hear what he says, he engulfed all my research of the name, literally showing me where they came from, how they started, how they got into the King James Version of the Bible. He started showing me all these things. And all my research that I've got, I'm telling you, research, he just dwarfed them by showing me where they came from. And so I started listening to him some more, and it was intriguing. I listened to this about 3 times before I let my wife hear it and my children hear it. And then I watched the next video, Brought by Ships. And once I watched that video, I realized how we got into where we got. I realized we're the covenant people, etc., etc. I watched all 3 or 4 of those. And then I watched Leave on Wings. And then I watched Keep Silent Before Me Island. And those things, once I watch those, and I watch them over and over and research and pray about them, I looked at my wife and said, "Hey, honey, how do you feel about living in the Philippines?" And my wife looked at me and said, "There we go again." And then she said, "But I will be wherever my husband is." And so myself, my wife, and our youngest daughter came to the Philippines. We've been here now going on 2 years. Love it. I'm telling you, under no circumstances will I go back anywhere than where we are now. Based upon the prophecy, we're supposed to be here for 98 years. Multiply and then go back and recover our land. The land promised to our forefathers. It's all written in the book. All written in the book. But what I'm here to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, and more on us as a people, more on us as a covenant people, you will, if you go to my YouTube channel, Now Living in the Philippines, go watch it. I've showed you attentively how we're living here. Remember, I tell you, I studied cult. I wanted to see if we were part of a cult. There ain't no such thing as a cult here. I'm in my own house, guys. Not a house in a complex. I'm in my own house. Got my own car, own bike, go and come when I feel, control my own money, control my own life, make my own decision. No one controls me. No one make decisions for me. No one tell me what to do. Everything is put before us through Torah, and we decide. A matter of fact, if you watch the Ravenous Bird or listen to him on YouTube or any on the Yahushua channel or wherever, you will see that he tells us to read it for ourselves. His goal is for us to understand it in our own language so we can cut out the middleman. He's not telling us what to do or how to do it. He's leading us to Yahweh through his words, and we decide. So, and just so you know, if you look at cults, they always control the money and control everybody else. This man spent his own money on us, taking us out on boat rides and paying for this and paying for that, helping us. I mean, bro, just go watch my videos, man, on YouTube. Now Living in the Philippines. Go watch. You'll see. We out here making sacrifice to Yahweh, man. It's incredible the things we're doing out here. We're the terror striking people. I mean, we're the one that Yahweh is going to use his rope to bring down and topple countries and cities. And we're going to continue to sing the songs and do what Yahweh said and watch him fulfill his mission in us. Karab wahakram achreham naam Yahweh. Wagashakakal ashar othetheka. At nakamit Yao alaeno, nakamit hekalo, hashmeao al babal rabim, kala rakeka shat, gano galeha sabait, al yaela al paleta, gam shamalo la kapalka, kar shagashatha, gashola a. Ke al yao zada al kadosh yao shra. Karab, Kal Kashadim Naam Yao, wa al Yashabe Babal, wa al Sharia, wa al Kakameha. Karab, al Habadim, wa Nalo. Karab, al Gabareha, wa Kato. Karab, al Soseo, wa al Rakabo, wa al Kal Hagarab, Ashar Bathoka, wa Heo Lashadim. Karab, al Urathea, wa Bazazo. Karab, al Memeha, wa Yabasho. Ke Arats Pasalem Hea, Wabae mem yatalo. Hana gamba matapon. Wagoe godol. Wa malakim rabim. Yairo marakate arats. Kashat wakanan yachzeko. Akzari hama. Wa al yakaramo. Kolam kayam yama. Wagal sosem yarakabo. Garuk gaesh lamalkama. Galek bat babal. Habaro hakatsem. Maalo hashalatem. Ha er yao at rok malak bade. Ke gal babal matzo la hasketa. Ke nakamit yako hea nakamit hekalo. Mapatsa tale kale malkama. Wana patse paka goem. Wahashkate paka mamlakot. Wana patse paka sos warakabo. Wana patse paka rakabo. Wana patse paka eshwa asha. Wana patse paka zakan wanaya. Wana patse paka bakorwa bethola. Wana patse paka rai waragado. Wana patse paka akarwa samado. Wana patse paka bakot wasakane. That's all I got. Peace out.